So I was scrolling on social media recently and I came across this post with the ratings of every single Ninjago episode. And as a YouTuber, I of course had to take a look because controversy equals content. And what I saw shocked me to my very core. As it turns out, there is one episode that the community has deemed to be the absolute worst episode of Ninjago. This episode is the absolute worst. No wait, like that's the title of the episode? I'm not just telling you that people hate it twice. Anyway, this episode does not deserve to be rated so low. I mean, have you seen Ninjago episodes? They can be pretty bad. So today I'm gonna prove that this is actually quite a good episode. So let's start off with the villains, because they're like the whole episode. This episode is a villain story. We start off with Ultraviolet and the mechanic bickering, and they eventually learn that the ninjas disappeared, so they're now gonna try to break out of prison. Wait a second, is that Cole's dad in the background? How did I not notice this before? Anyway, they escape and we are introduced to Fugji Dove. I don't really think I need to expand on this one here. He's just the best side villain of the series. Fight me. Okay, so I realize there are some of you who might not be super interested in these villains and maybe don't care about episodes that don't have the ninja, but have you seen Dabbing Skeleton? Cool, you're convinced now. Oh, what's that? You're trying to tell me the episode with the dabbing skeleton is bad? Are you nuts? What kind of crazy person would say that? Eventually, the conversation finds its way to which ninja is the worst. And I absolutely love the way the villains tell their exaggerated stories. Just look at the ninja's facial expressions. Genuinely makes me die laughing every single time I watch this episode. Like, yes, Nia, the stubborn, zero fear ninja, would definitely look at a minor villain exactly like that. Like, please, Ultraviolet, don't hurt us. For sure. That Nia, Ultraviolet's very accurate in this story. Yeah, you really captured her essence. Also, fun little thing. If you remember back in season 9, where the story she's telling actually takes place, Ultraviolet actually wins the fight. And like Lloyd is there also. And I don't get why she just turns from, oh, I beat a ninja in a fight, to just be like, nah, they just cowered in front of me and there was no fight whatsoever. Like, I feel like that'd be cool to tell. Instead, she's like, no, I'm gonna make up this epic fight with Zane that I lose. And I love the villains. Ultraviolet's great. And yeah, Zane swoops in and the fight scene is super lore accurate. Zane really can do that.
Oh, wait.
I heard he froze you instantly, like no fight whatsoever. Is this just gonna be a video of me laughing at the jokes in this episode for 10 minutes? Honestly, it might be, yeah. I might have rewatched this episode a lot. Like, I think it's genuinely my most rewatched episode in the show. So, you're here now, and you are going to listen to my insanity. Also, Ultraviolet correcting Fugji Dove is so funny. Like, the voice acting's just so good here.
Were you there? Because I have no memory of you being there.
She knows how obviously fake her story is, and she just has to resort to ad hominem attacks to try and save face. Like, were you there? That doesn't even make your lies true. It doesn't matter you were there and he wasn't. You're still lying. Ultraviolet's great. Also, what do you mean Zane pushes her frozen body off a jet flying like hundreds of feet in the air? I thought the ninja didn't kill people, man. Yes, I know he didn't actually do this, okay? Shut up. Just take this as a lesson. If you're gonna exaggerate a fight you had with someone to make it more interesting, just make sure to escalate the story until you get yourself killed. Then we get to the mechanic who hates Nia for some reason. I don't think there's any actual explanation for this rivalry, especially since the mechanic has always seemed more interested in Zane. But there are some solid parallels between the two. The mechanic is kind of like an evil Samurai X, but if you traded the big mechs for noodle trucks, he might not be the smartest. But I don't care about that. Let's talk about Nia. Oh, she is so cool. Like why does she have to be taken, man? Okay, that's enough of that. What am I doing with my life? Now, Nia's given some of the best lines in this episode. Like, you're going away for false advertising, buddy.
This truck doesn't even sell noodles. Does it? Does it?
There's also the, I like your vehicle. It's actually cooler than mine.
I think I'll take it without asking.
The mechanic is definitely not insecure about his lame vehicle, okay? He's very confident in himself and his aesthetic choices. You're all just haters. I also like how he tries to argue that she's the worst because she took his noodle truck, as if that's not just standard procedure that even the police would follow. Now we get to the best part, Fugji Dove. While the mechanic and Ultraviolet respect Nia and Zane, Fugji Dove is a total J fanboy.
I'm a fanboy.
His childlike fantasy of utterly dominating his heroes is so endearing. Oh man, I love this guy. I always find it hilarious when the villains gaslight themselves into believing they're not evil.
One of those heists that hard-working criminals like ourselves dream about, you know.
Yeah, Fugji Dove, you keep clocking into your 9 to 5 of walking to the bank and borrowing all of their money. Honestly, I don't know how no one's thought of this before. You're kind of a genius, mate. Anyway, this story has some of my favorite jokes of the episode.
A frequent and well-known archenemy!
You can literally hear Kirby Moro trying not to laugh.
Well-known!
It's so good. I love how Fugji Dove's whole thing is just, he wants to be seen as a legitimate threat. And then, like, the ninja don't know him, Pixel doesn't know him, his fellow villains don't know him. It's so good. It's hilarious. Also, Jazor is insane in this story. Fugji Dove basically turns him into a god. Additionally, he's the most buff out of all the ninja, so like, move aside Fortnite Cole, a new brick wall is in town. Lastly, there's this line where he's like,
in another time or place, who knows? We might have been allies.
dude, that's crazy foreshadowing. Like, I don't know, man, actual geniuses on the writing team. Anyway, Fugji Dove is yet another liar, but there is one line I want to point out where Ultraviolet goes,
It's not even how rope works.
looks like, what does this mean? I never really got this line. The rope is used to tie him up. I think that is how rope works. Like, yeah, sure, lightning doesn't do that, but rope does. Rope works like that. Finally, the way Fugji Dove is treated is so funny. Like, genuinely, how does Pixel not have a record of him? It's a criminal database. He's in Cryptarium. How irrelevant is this guy? I love this episode. Okay, that's like the full rant over. Not sure if this was actually much of a rant. Anyway, so now that you're convinced this episode is amazing and nothing will change your mind, let's talk about some of the actual flaws it does have. So those of you who've seen the episode might have been wondering, Volcanic, why did you skip over the first few minutes? And yeah, that's a fair question. Unfortunately, despite the absolute cinema we just experienced, there is one big flaw with this episode. It's set up like it will matter a lot more than it actually does. Because they're like, oh, the bad guys are gonna break out and we have to stop that. And while I don't think having them break out and be captured in the same episode is inherently bad, making the warden act like it's a massive deal, only for it to just kind of get quickly dealt with and resolved at the end, is a little lame. But like, did you see the animations? Okay, this is still good. Okay, we can move on. Another criticism I've seen is its placement in the season, since it kind of breaks up the action with a completely unrelated story to the episodes both before and after it. This is unlike, say, Snicktastrophie or The News Never Sleeps, which are at least kind of relevant to what's going on at the time. And unfortunately, they had to put it here because the premise kind of relies on the ninja being gone. Yeah, it just has to be in the ice chapter, despite not being in the Never Realm. I think these are valid criticisms, but also it's kind of lost its edge over time. Like, these days when I watch the show, I just pick the episodes I want to watch. So if I'm trying to watch like the story of season 11, I can just skip this. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like as big of an issue anymore. It might not fit super great into the season as a whole, but it's probably my favorite episode on its own from this season. Like, I don't know, it just works fantastically as its own individual episode. Ultimately, it's a lot of fun. Maybe it doesn't deserve to be part of like an actual season. Could have been a short, to be honest, but I'm very glad they made it. Honestly, I might have lied to you. I'm not actually sure if I would call it my favorite episode of the season, but throughout my many rewatches of this episode, it has never failed to make me laugh. So I just don't think it deserves to be the absolute worst episode of the show. You see what I did there? I'm so funny. Okay, please subscribe. Anyway, Presumably, a good amount of you watching disagree, so please let me know why you're wrong in the comments below. Also, if you have any underrated episodes, or just any episode in general, that you'd be interested to see a review of, do let me know, and I might just make a video about it.